Welcome to the podcast. My name is Riley.
My name is Maddie.
My name is Mike.
My name's Max.
I'm Sydney.
Today we're diving into social emotional learning, the process of developing the knowledge, attitudes, and skills needed to manage our emotions, build positive relationships, make responsible decisions, and succeed both in life and in school. Social emotional learning is built on 5 core components: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, responsible decision-making. Whether you're a teacher, a parent, or just someone looking to grow, you're in the right place. Let's explore how social emotional learning can help shape who we are and who we can become.
Okay, so to begin, let's get into the 5 components of SEL. Let's start on the subject of self-awareness for grades 6 through 8. So what is self-awareness? Self-awareness is understanding who you are, your thoughts, emotions, strengths, and areas in which you can improve. It means paying attention to how you feel and act and recognizing how those things affect others. In middle school, this could look like noticing when you're frustrated, excited, or nervous, and learning how to handle those feelings in a positive way. So next, we are diving into examples in PE and where it is incorporated in class. So in physical education, self-awareness is relevant all the time. Like when a student notices that they're out of breath and takes a break or slows down their pace because they recognize the issue. Or when you understand that your attitude affects your teammates' energy and you choose to stay positive. That's another form of self-awareness. It can even be when you realize you need to practice a skill like dribbling, serving, or throwing to get better. You're showing awareness of your strengths and weaknesses. Teachers do play a huge part in incorporating these skills into their own lessons in class. And when they ask students to reflect on their performances, set goals, and give feedback about what they can do to improve next time. So lastly, how is social emotional learning improved through PE? Well, in physical education, it helps build self-awareness in a few different ways according to the pathways to success.com. Like goal setting. Physical education gives students the chance to set personal fitness or skill-based goals such as improving their running time, mastering a new skill like dribbling, or increasing endurance. Through tracking progress and reflecting on their efforts, students learn about their own motivation, persistence, and growth over time. This process teaches that improvement comes through consistent effort and self-discipline. Another example is personal reflection. After games or physical activities, teachers often guide students to think about what went well and what could be improved. This reflection helps students understand their strengths and challenges, not only physically, but also mentally and emotionally. For example, a student might realize that they stayed calm under pressure or recognize that they need to communicate better with teammates next time. Reflection builds self-awareness and is encouraging, and it also encourages honest thinking and self-evaluation. Body awareness also plays a large part in physical education. Physical activity helps students tune into their own bodies by recognizing movement, effort, and how rest affects them. They start to understand their limits, energy levels, and how different exercises impact their mood and confidence. For instance, a student might notice that stretching helps them focus, or that a morning jog boosts their mood for the rest of the day. This awareness helps promote lifelong healthy habits and mindfulness of physical well-being. And lastly is social awareness. Many physical education activities involve teamwork, cooperation, and communication. Working with others teaches students to notice how their behavior, words, and effort affect teammates. They learn the importance of encouragement, fairness, and responsibility within a group. As students become more socially aware, they build empathy and learn to adapt their actions to create a positive environment for everyone.
Hello, listeners. Today I'm going to talk about one of the really important parts of social and emotional learning, or SEL, and that's self-management. Self-management is all about how we control our emotions, thoughts, and behaviors, especially when things get tough. It's how we respond to stress, stay focused, and keep putting in effort even when we don't feel like it. So let's break that down a little bit. Self-management means being able to regulate yourself, like keeping calm when you're frustrated, bouncing back after mistakes, and staying responsible for your own actions. For middle school students, this skill is huge. Around that age, emotions can feel a lot stronger, and social situations can be a bit more complicated. In PE especially, there are a lot of moments where students are pushed out of their comfort zones, whether that's competing in front of peers, learning a new skill, or losing a game. If students can manage their emotions and stay focused through those moments, they're not just becoming better athletes, they're developing life skills that will help them everywhere else. So examples. So let's say a student's team loses a close basketball game and are upset. Instead of getting angry or blaming others, they take a deep breath, shake hands, and say, "Good game." That's an example of self-management. Another example would be a student is struggling to complete their mile run. They want to stop halfway, but they tell themselves just one more lap, and they push through. That's self-management too, staying motivated even when it's hard. It could even be something simple like staying focused during a skill drill instead of getting distracted or goofing off when things slow down. All these are examples of students managing their emotions and behaviors in a way that helps them grow. As a future PE educator, these are the moments we can really use to help students practice those skills because PE gives them real physical situations where emotions come up: excitement, frustration, nervousness, pride, and we can teach them how to handle all of it in a positive way. Now, so how can we actually teach and encourage self-management in PE? That's a good question. Here are a few key methods that can make a big difference. One are different coping strategies. When students feel frustrated or overwhelmed, we can help them find healthy ways to calm down. Maybe that's teaching them some breathing techniques before a big game or encouraging them to take a few seconds to reset after a mistake. We can even model it ourselves. If we show calm, positive reactions when things go wrong, students will follow that lead. Two are goal settings. Goal setting is another great tool for self-management. If students set small personal goals like improving their push-up score, running one extra lap, or learning a new skill, it gives them something specific to focus on. When they have that direction, they're more likely to stay motivated and manage their time and effort better. We can guide them by helping them set SMART goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. A third would be encouraging reflection. After activities or games, take a minute for students to think about how they handle challenges. You can ask them questions like, how do you feel when things got tough? What do you do to stay focused? If you got frustrated, how do you manage it? This kind of reflection helps students build awareness of their own emotions and choices, which is the first step toward improving them. One last method would be brain breaks or reset moments. Sometimes, especially in a middle school PE class, students just need a quick reset. Maybe everyone's energy is all over the place or focus is fading. That's when a short brain break can help. A stretch, a quick breathing exercise, or even a fun 30-second movement game to refocus. It's a simple strategy, but it can really help students regulate their attention and emotions. So to wrap it up, self-management is all about learning how to control our emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. It's what helps students stay focused, resilient, and responsible both in and out of PE. And as future physical educators, we have a unique opportunity to teach those lessons in real, active, and meaningful ways every time students step into the gym or onto the field.
Now I'm going to talk about social awareness. Social awareness is one of the key skills in social and emotional learning. It's the ability to notice how others feel, understand their perspective, and act in a way that fits the situation. In middle school, social awareness becomes really important because friendships start to get more complicated and students often work in groups or teams. PE is actually a great place for students to practice social awareness because it's all about interacting and working with other students. In phys ed, students can show social awareness by helping others, understanding group dynamics, and managing their emotions. Teachers play a big role in helping students develop these skills. They can set up activities that require teamwork, like relay races, small group games, or partner activities. These activities give students opportunities to notice and respond to others' needs. Teachers can also model social awareness themselves by guiding students to resolve conflicts, showing how to include everyone, and praising positive teamwork behaviors. Another way social awareness shows up is through reflection. This helps students think about their actions and how they affect others, and encourages them to make more thoughtful choices in the future. Developing social awareness isn't just good for phys ed, it benefits students across the world, across the school day. According to the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, KSEL 2020, building social awareness helps improve relationships, increases empathy, reduces conflict, and even contributes to better academic performance. Students who understand and respect others are more likely to work well in teams, communicate effectively, and handle challenges positively. By practicing social awareness in phys ed, students gain skills that help them collaborate, care for others, and succeed both in life and school.
Our next component is relationship skills. So what are relationship skills? They're how people connect with others in a positive and meaningful way. So our communication skills, teamwork and collaboration skills, and problem-solving skills. It's basically how you work with others and the ability to find where you fit in effectively. PE puts students into situations that require constant interaction. They have to share a space, they have to share equipment, and they have to work towards the same goals. This creates opportunities to build respect, patience, and all those relationship skills. Middle school is where we really focus on teamwork and developing those collaboration skills through adventure models, team sports, problem-solving tasks. If we think about a volleyball unit where students are put into teams with classmates that aren't familiar with, they will not only be working on those physical skills of passing or serving the ball, but they'll be focusing on how they move as a team, how to effectively talk with one another, and how to be successful on the court. They will also be faced with situations where they can feel defeated and act poorly towards one another, but these situations are when students need to face these relationship skills and grow in them. This means PE teachers should be encouraging the range of skills, such as active listening, clear and effective communication, understanding what is an appropriate and inappropriate social interaction, finding the willingness to compromise, having the capacity to acknowledge and respect emotions, thoughts, and values of others, as well as the ability to view situations from another person's perspective and empathize with them. Teachers can really influence the growth of relationship skills by asking reflective questions like, what is something that you did today to help a classmate? Or, when did you receive help from a classmate today? This will get students thinking about how their choices will influence the relationships around them. So basically, relationship skills are how you treat and connect with others, and PE is a great place for these relationship skills to grow.
All right, so the last important component we will be covering today in today's episode regarding social and emotional learning is responsible decision-making. According to Positive Action, responsible decision-making is the ability required to make a positive and constructive choices based on individual and social factors like personal and academic goals, ethical standards, safety concerns, and social norms. I agree with this definition because it really encapsulates the whole idea of making decisions based on both the internal and external environment around you and how the decisions you make can affect everyone. Responsible decision-making can show up in a lot of ways. It includes choosing to stretch before class instead of goofing around with your friends, or passing the ball to a teammate instead of trying to do everything yourself, or even taking a short water break instead of trying to push yourself and tiring yourself out to the point of exhaustion. It's also a good indicator on how well students can handle their emotions, which relates back to what Max talked about earlier with self-management. If a student performs poorly because they're having a bad day or facing some adversity, being able to make responsible decisions is very important regardless of their current situation. If they are unable to control their emotions and continue to make reckless decisions, it could negatively affect themselves or others. In every PE class, you get chances to practice the skill. You make decisions on how hard you try and how you treat your teammates, and follow directions. The more you practice making positive choices in PE, the easier it becomes to make those same kind of choices outside of the class, at home, at school, and just in everyday life. Listening to feedback from your peers and teachers is very important because it allows you to own up to your mistakes and learn from them. There are many ways to improve on this. Students can improve by just setting small goals and focusing on their effort instead of trying to be perfect every single time. They can put themselves in other people's shoes and think about how their decisions might affect other people. And PE just isn't about building stronger muscles or being good at sports. It's about building stronger habits, stronger relationships, and a stronger mindset. When you make responsible decisions, you help to create a class that is fun, safe, and positive for everyone. A big part of this is maturity. When students are younger, they do not really comprehend the consequences of their decisions and often selfish. I do not think it's necessarily their fault either, because I just don't think they know any better. And as physical educators, I feel like it's our job to help steer them in the right direction and show them the importance of making responsible decisions. And I feel like we should also show them how they can benefit from them in ways they are previously unaware of.
As we close today's conversation on social emotional learning, let's just take a moment to remember what it's all about. Building the skills that help us understand ourselves, connect with others, and make choices that reflect our best selves. SEL isn't a one-time lesson, it's a lifelong journey. Every moment we pause to recognize our emotions, listen with empathy, or choose kindness over reaction, we strengthen the very core